It's a great day, my amazing CEOs. Starting a business that lasts is tough. And many businesses struggle with how do I keep customers coming back year after year after year? And how do I make my store stand out in a crowded market when there are other folks doing it? And what we're going to talk about this morning, the case study with Crate and Barrel, I think it really shares just that. Okay, when Gordon and Carole Segal got started with Crate and Barrel in 1962, they had very little money. And they had even less retail experience. They started off with like $17,000, by the way. All they had was a bunch of old crates for display. And they really couldn't compete by having a real fancy decor like many other folks who were in the market. And Gordon Segal, the founder, once said, when we first started, we didn't know the difference between a market or a markdown. And, as you're watching now and you're listening and you're part of the CEO Sales Huddle this morning, it's a common struggle that many CEOs face. Like, how do I stand out in the market that's very crowded when I have limited resources? And in their case, they ain't even had limited knowledge. Well, let's talk about the sales system they put in place, because Crate and Barrel succeeded by focusing on giving the customer a unique shopping experience, which is the same as a unique selling proposition. They say, you know what? We're going to do something different. We're going to start collaborations with our vendors. We'll show them why we're unique with our decor. Doesn't have to be fancy, but it's still unique and different. And when we work with our vendors and we're looking to bring in some cool stuff from overseas outside of the area, we'll even make sure that it fits exactly what our ideal client is looking for. In short, they solve the problem. And one of the things that we all can do as CEOs is we can implement a sales strategy that speaks to a niche that's very specific on our unique selling proposition. Doesn't mean you can't offer other products and services. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, what Crate and Barrel did is they got really, really niche. And I know you've heard this before, and it's so true. The riches are in the niches. And they said, we're going to stand out in this little small niche. We might offer other products, but in this niche, we're going to own it. And what a difference that made. Crate and Barrel is the juggernaut that we know it is today. By making your business unique, by having a unique selling proposition, solving your client's problem, and building collaborations around which they did, you'll find your sales not only go up, 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 up in a way, but they'll also be sustainable long term. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown. Welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. It is an honor and a privilege to serve you. And every morning when we get started, I like to start off the exact same way. The way I like to start off is, if you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business. Now, this is our creed. This is our mantra. This is what we share every single morning. And you might be saying, why? Well, sales is the oxygen for every great business in history. So without sales, there's always more money going out than there is coming in. So I want you to repeat these words after me this morning. If you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business. Why? Because without sales, there's always more money going out than there is coming in. I love that. Now, we also move off to our learn, earn, and return segment. And this is something that every CEO needs to do every morning. They should wake up and say these words, because we have a responsibility to our sales department. Our responsibility to our sales department is to provide the people, the processes, and the resources. Okay, you do that, and the sales department can do what it needs to do. Okay, so by that being said, here's what we're going to say, because we're going to make a pledge to our department. We're going to say this: learn, earn, and return. In fact, repeat after me these words. Repeat after me these words. As a CEO, this is you speaking to your sales department, not me. This is you for your sales department, and a creed that you can have. I have to learn something new in order to earn new revenue from current clients, in order to get new and old clients to return. So I must learn, I must earn, and I must return. That's not something we just say half-heartedly, something that we believe in. It's part of our mantra, okay? Our pledge, I should say, more of our pledge. Now, next segment is all about why do we get together? Why are we here? With a CEO Sales Huddle, we have 3 objectives. Our number 1 objective is for you to see your sales progress go up. So you're already having a sales meeting. Hopefully this becomes part of your sales meeting. Like, you spend this 15 minutes a day. These ideas are top of mind to you. So it's about sales progress. So we're going to measure it every day, how we're doing. Number 2, it's about addressing any roadblocks. Crate and Barrel had roadblocks. That's not new. And number 3, it's about understanding the 5 sales pillars. I said 5 that every CEO must know and understand in order to be successful. There are only 5. Let me give them to you. I love to share with you every single morning. Sales pillar number 1 is you must have a one-page CEO sales plan. If you can't pick up your one-page CEO sales plan this morning or look at it on your phone, go over to www.ceosalesplan.com. There's no cost. There's no credit card. There's no check need. There's no Cash App. There's no Zelly. Go there now. Okay? Download the one-page CEO sales plan. If you haven't already, follow up. We'll help you put that together. There's no cost. Number 2 is we must understand our sales cycle. That's the cycle from the time we connect with the client to the time we communicate with them inside and to the time they're ready to purchase or convert. Number 3 sales pillar is the sales message. And we understand our words will make us rich. These are the 5 sales pillars that every CEO must know. Sales drives marketing. Marketing never drives sales. So we must have the sales message on how we're going to solve the problem. Okay, so we got to have that. Number 4, we'll talk about that later, is the CEO sales dashboard. I love that. We spent a whole segment on that. I think about 2 or 3 minutes on that every morning because we believe what gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. So you're going to measure. You're going to manage. You're going to be in this conversation. It don't have to be a new idea. This is your CEO sales huddle. This is for CEOs every morning so we can run our sales department and our sales organization. Okay, number 5, you must have a 7-figure sales team. Like, even if you are the sales team, then you're responsible for 7 figures, okay? That's the goal. That's the mission. That's the objectives, okay? Then after that, I want to just welcome everybody that's tuning in. I love to do this every morning. I love to connect. If you're out there watching, no matter what platform you're on, you can see me, but I can't see you. So do me a favor. Look right below the video. And put hashtag I'm here. Now, hashtag I'm here is just the bat signal. It's a bat signal. You're in the building. Bat signal, you're in this conversation from one CEO to another CEO to another CEO. There's not a raw session, okay? If you're watching the replay, because, maybe you can't be here every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so maybe I'm on your TV screen right now. Maybe I'm in your AirPods right now, or maybe on your tablet or it's playing in the background. Do me a favor, put hashtag replay. And for all the folks, and we appreciate every comment, you can leave a comment over at I am Che Brown. If you're on the on-demand platform, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon, YouTube Live, wherever you may be on any of our streaming platforms or syndicated agreements or podcasts, do me a favor. Go over to at I am Che Brown. Just drop me a quick note and say, look, Che, I'm in the conversation. Love to hear from you. Love to hear what you're up to. What is the mission, goals, and objectives? Okay, CEO Sales Huddle is a place where CEOs gather to understand how to sell more faster. So I already know you know how to sell. I get it. But here's the question. How do you sell more faster? How do you get there faster, easier, with less effort inside the sales department? Here's our big why. And I like to share this every morning because I want to know, why do we show up, right? I mean, why do you show up? Why do I show up? Why do we have this? Why are we even in this conversation? It's about 3 things. Number 1, it's about sales growth. So in your sales department, it's the only department that gets measured. It's the only department that generates revenue. And we do understand if you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business, right? So we're going to look at the sales growth. How are we doing? We measure that. We're going to get to the CEO sales dashboard in a minute. It's about accountability. You probably heard this before. It's so true. We'll often do more for others than we'll just do for ourselves. So the fact that you're here in the conversation with other CEOs, we're here together. That's why I created this. It didn't exist. So I wanted a place where I could come to and I could be in this conversation. Number 3 is about consistency. You might share this with your team. I believe it's so true that consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do people struggle with most? Seriously. Well, they struggle with consistency. So we only ask for 15 minutes a day. We're going to be done shortly. I don't know how much time we have left, but 15 minutes a day to tune in your sales meeting. We call it the sales huddle. And in this 15 minutes, you think about it, there's 1,440 minutes in every day. Never 1,441. Never, ever, ever. So in that, we're going to take 1% of the day to focus on sales that drives the revenue that allows you to purchase all the resources you need in the company. And that's 15 minutes. And in that 15 minutes a day, we get to step back, look at the business, and we get to allocate the people, the resources, and the processes that the sales department needs, because as a CEO, that's our responsibility. And what is our number 1 outcome? Why do I show up every day for 15 minutes for you, my team, and everyone who's watching this right now? We have 1 outcome, and it's $100,000 plus a month of consistent, predictable, reliable revenue. Now, for some of you, that's not going to excite you. It's 200, it's 300, it's 400,000. For others, it is exciting. So you show up because the only way to generate revenue is with, well, you'd probably agree with me, sales. Now, when I was working with folks, they had a problem. And the number one problem they had was, hey, Shay, how do I really get to $100,000? Seriously. And I would ask the question, well, what are we measuring? And they would say, I'm looking at my revenue. I'm looking at what I'm doing every day. They had KPIs in the business, but they weren't measuring in the sales department the 5 things that needed to be measured in order to change the process or in order to improve upon it. What gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. So we created a CEO Sales Dashboard. They've been working for our clients for years. Now we release it for the very first time to the public. That's you. If you don't have it, you can go download it. It's called the CEO Sales Dashboard. And the CEO Sales Dashboard really has 5 components that all you have to measure: leads, appointments, offers, deals, and repeat business. Isn't that amazing, by the way? And we even created a CEO Sales Dashboard for you. You ain't even got to do the work. If you don't have it, you can go over to www.ceosalesdashboard.com. I'm going to pull up in a moment. You download it. Like, if you don't have it right now, and you've been showing up, and that's fine. You don't need to get it. You maybe have your own way of measuring. And you've been showing up. We appreciate it. Or you're watching now for the first time. Go download it right now. There's no cost, okay? And then I'm going to pull it up so you can kind of see it. It's an Excel sheet. It's worked for many of our clients. Well, that's not it. I think here we go. It's an Excel sheet that's worked for many of our clients. And here's how it works. You download it. And then you're going to measure leads on the left-hand side, appointments, offers, deals, and it should be repeat business down here. And then across the top, you're going to go find the date. So you go find today's date right now. And then you would come down to today's date and you will look at yesterday's. Now, some of you are pulling this up right now. Hey, congratulations. I'm so glad you have it in front of you. Others, I'm not going to mention names, but I get an email every day from some of you who are doing your CEO Sales Dashboard, just saying, Shay, I'm in the conversation. It's done. And I know it's going to help you. Okay, I hope you hear where my heart is. I hope you hear where I'm really coming from. Don't think this is hokey dokey stuff. Just do it. So let's say we just did an example. You looked at yesterday. Go look at yesterday's results, whether you do it or your assistant does it or you do it while you're here with me. And go ahead and put down right now how many leads came into the database yesterday. And how many of those leads were qualified. And then how many were from referrals. Now, today I want to focus on appointments. We go into deep, maybe every day I try to go into a different area. So let's go into deep right now. Let's go into appointments. And when you look at appointments, let's pull that up right now. So you go to the appointment box now. You can customize this later. You can customize appointments for different ones that you have or different ones you're looking for. But today I just want to look at just appointments. And let's look at how many appointments were set yesterday in the sales department. And then why are we looking at appointments? Because we know that nothing happens without an appointment. Like nothing happens. Absolutely zero Mendo happens without an appointment. A couple of different ways you can have appointments. You can customize this later. But how many were set yesterday by your sales department? How many were run? That means someone showed up and it was run. Now, you might have different categories. I have a few here that you can change them around. You can customize it. But for many of you, you're measuring, well, how many appointments were set 1-to-1? So your rep is running 1-to-1 with somebody. You're running 1-to-1, or they showed up. Some of you do 1-to-many appointments. So right now, when I show up for the CEO Sales Huddle, this is a 1-to-many. Many of you are watching, not just one person is watching. And then my favorite appointment to have is collaborations. Sometimes I have an appointment. We had one just yesterday. I don't want to talk about me right now, where it was nothing more than how to collaborate with 2 other folks. We were on a Zoom call talking about how to collaborate. That was an appointment, a very good use of 30 minutes of my time to talk about how we can serve, how we can connect, and things we could work together to take services to folks and add value to their business. What gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. That's our belief. If you haven't downloaded the CEO Sales Dashboard, go over right now if you haven't downloaded. Seriously, go over to www.ceosalesdashboard.com. I'm almost done. I know I'm overtime right now, but download it right now and get it. Get started right now. And in having that, then you're going to measure the 5 components that every CEO must know and understand, and what gets measured gets managed. And we're going to do this every single morning. Give it to your assistant, show up. All right, enough on the dashboard. I get so excited about it. You can tell that it's the number one way that's helped the number of our clients. Our next segment that we're going to move in quickly is we celebrate wins every day. We don't show up on here just to beat ourselves up. No. Powerful people ask powerful questions. Why? Because questions steer focus. And in this life, I promise you, you get exactly what you focus on. I promise you. So now we're going to focus. Ask ourselves 3 questions. Not that. Question number 1, what are you most proud of? In the sales department yesterday. Not you, not your health, not your relationships, in your sales department. What was the biggest accomplishment in the sales department yesterday? Now go and answer that. Like seriously, answer that right now. And then if I could bring you on here now as a CEO and you could just brag on the sales department yesterday. You looked at the CEO sales dashboard. You had your CEO sales plan. What's the one thing you would just want to brag about? You say, you know what? Yeah, this happened yesterday. You want to brag them. Isn't that kind of cool? But we understand that every day is not rainbow, cupcakes, and unicorns, okay? So we have a category here called overcoming obstacles. There's going to be some challenges. We do a business case every single morning. And I share the challenges they went through. I share how they improved their sales system, their sales structure. I share that every morning with you, or their sales mindset, and it makes a difference. So let's look at maybe some challenges you may be facing in the business. Powerful people ask powerful questions. Why? Because questions steer focus. And in this life, you get exactly what you focus on. So what was your biggest roadblock yesterday? What is preventing you from moving forward today in the sales department? You look at everything you got to do today as a CEO. And what's the one thing that's preventing you? Maybe sales is not even important to you, right? It's just like, well, I'm good. But I know that sales is the oxygen for every great business in history. And without sales, there's always more money pouring out than there is coming in. The point I'm trying to make is selling a serious business, So what is the one thing you can do today that if you did it, it would at least move the sales department forward? Now, there's sometimes you do something that's no big deal. It doesn't move the needle. You show up, and maybe it's a mindset thing. Maybe you make a phone call. Maybe you send an email. It's no big deal, but it helps inch you along. And there's other times we step back and we do something, and it just moves the needle. Might be something small, but here's what I want you to think about. And I love the analogy. It's not mine, but it just helped me so much. And that is small hinges swing big, big doors. Isn't that so true? So what's the one thing you can do? Make a commitment. It's not about me. Look, this is a sales meeting, okay? So we get together for 15 minutes, well, a little bit over 15 minutes now every morning to do this so that you can have everything that you need right now. My message to you today is what gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. If you haven't downloaded your CEO sales dashboard and you're not showing up every morning tracking it, you just got busy, you got off track, life happened, you meant to do it, you didn't need it, I'm going to suggest you go download now. Go to www.ceosalesdashboard.com, www.ceosalesdashboard.com. Download it. Tomorrow, when you show up, we're going to focus on leads, appointments, offers, deals, and repeat business. And we only ask for 15 minutes a day. So with that being said, my message to you today is what gets measured gets managed. We're going to track our top income producing activities in the sales department. And those are the activities that produce the revenue because they first produce the folks who have a problem. We're able to share how we solve the problem. You do that and you will see your sales go up, up, up and away. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve as your host of the CEO Sales Huddle. One of the things I know about you as a CEO is that you're amazing. I know you're already incredible. I know it's hokey dokey, so I'm not going to say pat yourself on the back and all that stuff, but I will say this. You're a winner. You're champions. Only champions show up, and only champions do what it takes to be successful. With that being said, make it a great day, everyone, and I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. If you haven't, look right below the video and put hashtag I'm here. Connect, put hashtag I'm here. If you can do that, some of you on streaming platforms, you can't do that, but if you can see me. I can't see you. I would love to connect. I'll see you tomorrow. We're on overtime. We got 19 minutes. I got to go. Peace. Keep doing God's work, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye for now.